Hello and welcome to S-factorsam. My name is Samuel Ray, and this is Art of Rally. What does the S in S-factor stand for? Well, you're going to have to watch to the end to find out. So what I've been doing in this game, and this is one of my favorite racing games of all time, honestly. I've been aiming for high placements on the leaderboard's weekly event. So I finally achieved my goal of getting a top 50% finish, and I've done it multiple times. But not only that, but the first time I did a top 50%, I actually managed to get top 30%. So this time I am aiming for top 10%. All right. So this is the daily, and I'm just using this as a warm-up. More often than not, it's not the same car that we're going to be using in the weekly. Oh gosh, didn't see that turn coming. Also a good time to lock in the settings. Try and reduce that jitter. No. That was the slowest crash I've ever experienced. This thing's not exactly a powerhouse. Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Nope. Okay, please, no resets. Thank you. Okay, top 50%. Not bad, not bad. This is also my first time doing this on my computer ever since I had to reinstall Windows and decided to install Linux Bazite, which is based off the Fedora platform. I'm totally new to all this Linux stuff, so it's my first time getting a recording going, and it is a little funky. Definitely takes a lot more tinkering than regular Windows, but the software, the OS, used a lot less of the PC's resources, or so it seems. Honestly, I don't mind that car too badly. Even though it's a slippery stage, it felt pretty good under throttle. I may have to try and work out how to mod again, because I did have some graphical mods back when I was running it on Windows. So that's a little much more difficult to do on Linux. Alright, now we're gonna jump in to the weekly. This is the one where I'm actually going to have to. And so I usually attempt these on Saturdays because the reset is Saturday at 8, or actually after daylight savings, 7 p.m. Eastern, which is my time zone. Each weekly rally is 4 stages with a repair stop in the center. So after the second stage. This game does have a damage system, and not gonna lie, I mean, it's just realistic enough to be deep, but not so much that it detracts from the fun that this game provides as a low poly. No, avoid those hay barrels, please. Okay, so we've got us a Porsche, which was the first car that I actually achieved my top 50% goal using. Actually, I think it was this exact car. I need to focus on driving this thing nice and smooth. This thing rewards precise throttle control and smooth turns with a good tight apex like that. Outside, inside, outside type turns. So like outside, slow down, inside, accelerate. If I can focus on driving smooth, I can do quite well with this. Smooth, I said. Yeah, see, that was a beautiful hairpin. What I'm talking about. Okay, that was a bit of a dangerous slide. I had to lift and bail out of that. This is not a torquey monster of an engine that this Porsche is using, so it's not quite so suitable to trying to do these monster power slides. Smooth driving. No. I went too much airborne. Great. Had too much momentum going through those rolling hills there. It sucks. pick up the pace to make up for that reset. Every reset grants you a 5-second penalty, plus it takes extra time to get back up to speed, especially since this doesn't exactly have a lot of low-end torque. Oh boy. Oh snap! Despite that reset, I got a top 35 percentile completion. So the leaderboard system in this game, it uses a percentile system to compare yourself against everyone else who has completed said stage or rally. And it uses it in increments of 5%. So 35 percentile, when it displays that here, that means you could have been anywhere between 35%, top 35% to top 31%. It's not super exact. But what I like to do with this is run it on Saturday, and then after the reset at 7 p.m. Eastern, then I go and compare while recording. When I first look at it, I like to compare my performance to everyone who ever will attempt that particular weekly, because no more attempts can be made from then on. I'm actually surprised I managed to keep control on that one. Didn't spin out. Again, it's not a torquey monster of an engine. This thing is more about high revs and precise throttle control. A well-balanced rear engine car. So you need to focus less on sliding and more on driving smoothly without ever coming to a complete stop. It rewards precision and it rewards that with momentum. So as long as you can keep our momentum smooth, you're not going to have much issues. It just takes a lot of skill to keep that. I'm honestly surprised I managed to get a top 35 percentile after getting that 5-second penalty. And then it takes this car like a solid 3 or 4 seconds to get up to speed. All right, stage 2, longer, gravel and tarmac mix, and it's raining. Now rain, that is always a bit of a headache. You'll see I didn't input any kind of steering there. And under throttle, full throttle, wanted to fishtail a little bit. Now if this was a car with more torque on the low end, it would be fishtailing all over the place. I despise driving these kind of cars in these kind of weather conditions. Smoothness and precision is what this car rewards. I need to focus on slow and smooth, because smooth is fast. Now, right angle turns are not very, this car's not very well suited to those, so I need to try and focus on the smoothness on these large sweeping turns. Don't overcorrect too much. Okay, lift and coast. Point the nose where you want to go and accelerate. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, that was a decent apex there. You don't always want to just pedal to the metal on the throttle either. Slowing down because I saw a hill leading to a turn. In a cockpit view, that would have been a blind turn. And I hate blind turns over crests. Okay, now we're going uphill. I need to be more gradual with my throttle there. That way we don't get no fishtailing. Another blind crest. Left-hander. Okay, good cut. Keep the momentum going. Okay, powered through that turn. Then I had to lift the throttle in order to maintain control and accelerate straight. Oh, get back on it. Come on. Okay. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Yeah, I came to a complete stop, but at least I didn't get a hard reset. Oh, I saw I was gonna land at an angle. I had to lift off the throttle. Maintain control in that landing. Okay, wasn't gonna risk getting more air there. Keep it smooth. Okay, good cut in that apex. Another flying crest. Okay, not gonna risk that on a jump either. Totally took out the finish line there, but that's okay. Top 30%. Not bad, not bad. I don't necessarily know if this is a top 10% type performance. We'll have to find out because one thing about this is you don't necessarily have to hit. Like, let's say, just as an example, back when I got my first top 50th percentile finish and I actually got a top 30, my performances on all the stages never really cracked top 45 percentile per stage. But because I was consistently hitting top 40, I think it was top 40 or top 45, somewhere in that range, because I was consistently placing above top 50 percentile, I ended up shooting up to 30% because others in that same range had more peaks and valleys in their performance. For rally, consistency is everything. So getting consistent top 35%, if I can keep that up in these next few stages, this could be my run to get top 10%. And the crazy thing about it is if I manage to do it, that'll just go to show that my ultimate best car in Art of Rally is this Porsche. And Porsche are some of the most unorthodox designed cars. It's rear engine, rear wheel drive. And you would think normally that would mean you couldn't even steer the thing because under acceleration, the car would squat back, right? The load would shift all the weight onto the rear tires. Yes, that would mean excellent grip under throttle, but again, this is not a torquey monster of a car. And I think that lack of low-end torque is what makes it so maneuverable, even under throttle. That combined with stiff rear suspension prevents it from squatting back too much and lifting weight off of the steering tires. So they managed to design a rear engine rear wheel drive car that is actually surprisingly nimble and balanced. But it also makes for a very unique driving dynamics. Because again, like I said, it's all about that precise throttle work. You don't want to go late braking, full braking into turns. You want to lift, coast, and lightly brake in order to be able to maintain a smoothness and momentum around turns. This isn't your usual, iconic rally machine like your WRXs or your Lancer Evo, where you're just sending this sucker. Oh, I got top 30%. Didn't realize. I thought it said 35. But you're not trying to just like rip it over crest and leaping all the time. It's not, high ride height and all that. Let's see how repairs go. Good. No actual performance damage. So no damage to anything that affects performance. It just got dirty, which gives drag. So we're just gonna clean her off and get back into it. Let's go. Stage 3 of 4. This is going surprisingly well. Taking advantage of all the cuts I can. There we go. Nice smooth hairpin turn again. Getting good apexes too. Oh, get back on the stage. Yeah. Not going to eat another reset. Gotta be careful of those fences though. Oh, they like to rip right onto the car. Just spin you out for the closest brush. No, stupid hay barrels, out of the way. Feeling a list. I can't tell if it's the terrain or the car's suspension that's damaged. I really do love the replay cameras. So cool. Especially if you're not on a mountainous road, a mountainous stage where there's such high, like drastic elevation changes and mountains for the camera to clip into. As long as it's not clipping, it's like some of the best replay camera I've seen. Trying to cut through that hay barrel as close as possible, and sometimes those just throw me off. Okay, another top 35% completion. Now we got gravel and tarmac, and it's the shortest stage of them all, simply 2 miles. This could go really well. Final stage, here we go. Oh, oh no. That's a heck of a start. Great. It's all falling apart. Okay. Alright, time to recover. Out of my way, people. Lots of chicanes try and get in my way. Okay, I really had to lock in there after those early mistakes. Top 35% again. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, that was such a wacky early mistake that I made there. More for those mistakes. Those two mistakes, like that one right there, I probably could have. I might have been able to break the top 30 percentile on this stage alone. Such a short stage, and I did so well for the rest of the stage here. That cut, I could have done it a little bit more shallow in order to keep my momentum or kept my acceleration, but all things considered, I did quite well on this. All right, so after 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna see the final results. And now it is time to see the final result. Let's take a look. And top 35%. I didn't quite make it to top 10, but considering how consistent I was, I did surprisingly well, honestly. You know, I've been hitting top 50s pretty much every time I've been doing it. Yeah, it's working well. Now I just need to push myself. I wish this was the one. I wish this was the run because I was using Porsche. Like, so far, that is clearly my best car in this game. So, gotta keep going, and hopefully I can, you know, can hit top 10 eventually. So, maybe what I need to do to push myself up to that level, maybe I need to take the hit in my consistency by learning manual, then get better at driving manual. I'm not sure. But anyway, to answer the question at the beginning of the video, what does the S in S factor stand for? In this case, I think it would stand for stable, because my performance has gotten much more stable and consistent. Now I just gotta push it harder and harder until I can get to that top 10%. And if I don't see any market improvement for a little while longer, I may have to switch to manual and really just train myself to be able to do that with a controller, because I do struggle with manual in controller racing games. It's much more intuitive for me when I'm using a steering wheel and you know, with paddle shifters or H pattern shifter. So we'll have to see how it goes. All right, that's it for me for this one. If you made it this far, then I would definitely appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. Without you, I wouldn't even have the motivation to keep doing this. Although, to be honest, this is a rare case where I've got drive to just climb the leaderboards. So we'll keep going. Come along with me for the ride. And if you enjoy this or anything similar to this, then stick around, because on screen you'll see something else that I think you'll like. All right, you have a great rest of your day. That's it for me for today. This has been S Factor Sam, and I am Samuel Ray. I'm signing out. See ya.